Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm here to do the book Courtship Tag. I wasn't tagged by anyone to do this tag, but there was a general tagging going on, so I just decided to do it as well. And let's get started. Phase 1, Initial Attraction. A book you bought because of the cover. I don't usually buy books because of its cover. I usually, look at the title that is in the cover and read the summary, but usually summaries are very, very bad. I don't know if you've noticed, but most of the summaries either spoil the entire book or just say it in a very non-attractive way. But usually I go around and listen about the book on BookTube and etc. This, however, I didn't make the connection on the first time I looked at it. I looked at it because of its cover, so I chose this book for this one, and it is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This is a Brazilian edition by Intrínseca, and it's a beautiful continued cover and it's really pretty. It has really nice colors. I really love pink and flowers and butterflies, so I thought this was really pretty. And yeah, after looking at the cover, I went and saw the original title, and then I made a connection with everyone actually talking about this book online, but I only noticed it after seeing this cover, which is really pretty. So yeah, this one. Phase 2, First Impressions. A book that you got because of its summary. Now, I was just talking about how bad summaries can be, but for this one, I did actually buy it because of the summary. I was looking for a book in English. I had already read something by Philippa Gregory, but in Portuguese translated. So I saw this and I noticed that it was in another time, so I picked it up, and it was The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. This is the first book in the Cousins War series. It was adapted to a TV show last year, but that was not why I bought it. I bought it way before people were talking about this book, because I am a historical novel fanatic, so I just go around this section in the bookshops, and I thought, if I'm going to pick a book in English, maybe I should, just pick one from a genre that I like. It is, however, difficult to read for someone who isn't used to reading in English, to read like an historical fiction for the first, as its first book in English, because, historical books tend to use language from that age, so sometimes it gets complicated, and half of the book is also underlined because I would look in the dictionary for the translation. But that was a book that I bought because of the summary, which is actually really good, because it just describes her entire life, which makes you know what to expect but not know exactly how it's gonna happen. So it's quite good for an historical novel to have a summary like that. Phase 3, Sweet Talk, a book with great writing. For this one, I'm gonna choose, and I had a lot of competitors for this one, but I'm gonna choose Gabriel García Márquez, and the book is, what is the original title? I think in English, I think it's like An Announced Death, something like this. In Spanish is Crónica de una muerte anunciada. And this book is really short and it's beautiful to read. It's amazing. I read it such a long time ago and it's so good, guys. Gabriel García Márquez was a Nobel Prize winner and he is amazing. It's an amazing, amazing writer. So go check him out. Phase 4, First Date. A first book in a series which made you pick up the rest of the series. And I'm gonna go with Eragon. Now, in all of my series are basically, this is what happens. I read the first one, and if I like, I buy the rest of the series. And that was exactly what happened with this one. I read Eragon many years ago, and I loved it. And then I went out and bought the others. Almost finished the second one 3 years ago, but didn't. So now I have to go read that one again. And the books get bigger and bigger during the course of the series, which is, you have to have time to get around in reading them. And I would like to just read the entire series in a few months. I don't want to read one a year, so I have to have time to read that series. That being said, Eragon was amazing. It's about this boy who just finds a dragon egg and keeps it, and then a dragon is born, and it's amazing. It's really really cool. I am very bad at summarizing plots, but if you've watched the movie, the beginning is the same, but then it's all different. That's why everyone hates the movie, but the book is amazing. Just go, if you haven't yet, go read Eragon by Christopher Paolini. Phase 5, a book that kept you up all night. This one, I'm going to choose the last book that kept me up all night, and that was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I read it on my Kindle, I read it on Kindle app for Android. And I went through it like in 2 days. I was addicted. I could not stop reading, and I discovered later that's because the chapters are very short. So you just want to read more and more, and because the chapters are so short, you're just like, oh, I can read one more chapter. And I went on like this until 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, I finished this book way faster than I would normally do because it kept me up all night, and was really really enjoyable. It's a contemporary YA, and I gave it 5 stars. Really really enjoyed it. As a contemporary, I think is really good. It has diverse characters, and that felt real, and no perfect people and perfect boyfriends and stuff like that. So yeah, I would really recommend it, and the sequel comes out next month. Phase 6, Always on My Mind, a book that you could not stop thinking about. While I was reading, and after I read this book, it was in my mind during like 2 to 3 months, even longer. I would just find myself mentioning it in several conversations about several topics, like dictatorships and freedom and politics, which is really interesting because it's a YA book. It was Across the Universe by Beth Travis. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, in terms of exactly what I told you before, like politics and talking about dictatorships. And it's really interesting because how they deleted the history so that people wouldn't be informed. Really, really good. This is one of those which I read the first, and I have the entire trilogy. That I haven't read the entire trilogy yet, but this one was really enjoyable. The characters are really good as well. And it's a YA sci-fi book, and I'm not really a big sci-fi fan, but I did enjoy this one a lot. So yeah, Across the Universe by Beth Travis. Phase 7, Getting Physical, a book which you love the way it feels. Now for this book, I'm gonna go with my American, I don't know, I think the English version in this case is actually the same, but I bought this book just as it came out, and in Brazil, they brought it from America, obviously, so from the United States, and it's the Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. This book is like, those matte covers, rubbery feeling, have a rubbery feeling to them, just like very soft, very nice to touch. I really really like when they are like this, and this book just feels amazing. When the cover, the colors, the detail in the back, and the feel of the book is the best part for sure. Phase 8, Meeting the Parents, a book which you would recommend to your family and friends. That is a really easy one. Like, sometimes you can go wrong with YA because some people are like Puritans and just like to hate YA for some reason, and YA is not a really big thing in Portugal yet. I read this book when I was like about 15, so here we tend to read adult fiction or as like any other kind of genre. I just threw my glasses to the ground. That book would be Filipa de Lancaster by Isabel Silva. This is a Portuguese book. It's a historical novel, just like, Philippa Gregory. And this was her debut novel, but I think it's like the best. And I recommend it to everyone who wants to read a Portuguese book. Like family, friends, colleagues, non-colleagues, everyone that like, oh, do you know any book that you could recommend to me about, I don't know, historical figures, and like Filipe Lancaster, and like, or maybe a book in Portuguese for me to try, Filipe Lancaster, or maybe a romance, Filipe Lancaster. It has everything. It's really sweet and loving, but also it was made from the heart, and you can tell. And it's a really beautiful story, really beautiful told, and really beautiful in itself. So yeah, Philippa of Lancaster. If you want, you just search her online. She was great. Phase 9. Think about the future. A book or series you know you will reread many times in the future. The obvious answer everyone is saying is Harry Potter, but for me, I think it's most likely for me to reread one book instead of a whole series. And that for me would be Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I saved this book for this phase because I could just put it everywhere. I didn't sleep when I first read this book, and I think it has beautiful writing. This book is awesome. If you don't know, it's about Elizabeth Bennet, who has 4 other sisters and a very, very ridiculous mother and father sometimes. And then this new guy comes to town, Mr. Bingley, with his 2 sisters and his friend, Mr. Darcy. And I mean, I say Mr. Darcy and you can just, oh, I remember, yeah, that's the story. But yeah, oh god, I love this book. It started my love for Jane Austen, and I think it's a fantastically written book, and the plot is also cute, and oh, I die with love for this character. So yeah, this book I will for sure reread during the rest of my life. Please then share the love. Who do you tag? I am in no position to tag anyone, but if you want to do it, do it. This is an extremely interesting tag. You can show so many genres and so many different books with this tag, so do it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can like it or subscribe. All my video stuff is down below, and I hope to see you soon with another video. Goodbye!